So I gave her an original, but she never gave me like her contact information. So I was like, it's Sunday morning. Is she a real person? Like, is she a fairy? And then all these good things started happening after she gave it to me. I feel like energy is really powerful, and I think it's always there. I just feel like more like there are certain people that are more attuned to it than like others, and I think it's a skill you can like work on. I think everyone can do it if they wanted to. It's brought me mostly a lot of joy at the times where I feel like I know I'm going against what everything is literally pushing me to do. That's when I have like friction, and I'll feel like anxious or I'll feel like depressed because I'm not just like directly handling something when I can. So I've learned to like use it to my advantage now as opposed to just always working against it. Yeah, I can see a lot of the growth I've made as a person. I can see it in my art too. Like they reflect at different points in my life. For me personally, I just needed to tell people what was actually going on in the inside, period. Like, because I wasn't doing that. I was just letting people know I'm happy. If I'm sad, then I wouldn't talk about it. And then that's just years of just holding that in there, not feeling you could trust people with your emotions. And I had to give up that hold and just trust that like this person who says they got me has me. And once I was trusting other people with that, then I actually had to trust myself with that too, incidentally. It's like I didn't trust myself to just have emotions, so I would try to like shut them off. So I started with other people outside of me first, and then the last literally 5 years have been me giving that back to myself. And like, how would you help your friend if it was you? Like, you need to hold yourself down like you hold yourself down with your friends. That might not be the same for everyone. Maybe someone has to start with themselves first and then go out, but that was my way. There's a big part of just like stuff that I grew up with, and at this point I almost think it's just generational things that I just want to break the cycle of stuff, and that's been pretty much like I've been hammering that down. If like other people that might have been feeling the way I was when I was a kid, like just to dismantle a bunch of that stuff and break it down and really understand like how that kind of sticks with you when you can't get out of it, I feel like that would be really helpful. We're in homeroom, and I quite literally remember I was just minding my own business. Like I wasn't really doing anything. I was probably drawing. I can't remember the exact phrasing, but the way it came out is like, well, when slavery happened, like you got to go to college here, and I'm just like, are you saying like I wouldn't have had that education if for some reason my roots were not pulled from Africa? Mind you, we're all like 14, 15, so we're all just a bunch of assholes that haven't like developed. But it's like that shit where it's like these microaggressions, like that was all the time. Like the context isn't there, like the gravity of what was just said is completely not there. And it's just like, I can't say anything back. And I'm like, it's still not in your head. Like there shouldn't be a reason for you to want to call me that in the first place, or anyone else. Like, why is this a thing? And she would blame it on us being like obnoxious, but honestly we were just 16-year-olds like laughing and giggling in the back of class and making art, so I don't know. But she really admired my talent though, and I think that bugged her because she would tell me like you're really good, but at the same time she didn't like me as a person and would just tell me that. And one time she just walked up to me, it's like, if only I could just like, take your brain and just like your creativeness and just put it like basically like if someone else had it but I have it. Yeah. And I'm like, that's not a compliment, and I didn't really know what to do with that. She just complained about me all the time, and I'm like, I've literally done nothing to you. Like that one is like Pumpkin Spice Bay. They're all bays. And then this one's Yoga Bay. I was looking at this one the other day and I was like, well, look at that. I became the girl in my painting. I manifested into that new person. Like for her, she's like, as soon as you literally have like the thought of the thing that you want, it's already real. The fact that you're thinking about it means that it's already done. So you just have to like do the work to go towards it. Like, it's literally already there for you because you have the thought now. So now you just move forward towards it. And sometimes it takes longer, but like it's always still working towards it. I don't know how many times I tried to like figure out, how do I rent a studio space? I'm like, I can't afford this. And all this time, whenever I had that thought like 3 years ago, it's because it took longer because it was much bigger. But everything I was doing in the last 3 years led up to this moment. I just didn't know it when I was doing it. I was just trying to like focus, and I had to like go into like little tiers of like, gotta work on my mindset, because I would like do art, but I would do it sporadically, where like I would do a show and then I wouldn't announce the next time I do a show, or I wouldn't prepare enough for it. And I had to get that shit figured out first. I'm like, all right, you have to actually commit. You can't just be like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're already talented, people are already waiting, they're already asking you when's your next show. Like, just plan it so that it's already there. And once that worked out, then like the next level could start. I saw a post today that I liked, and it was like, don't only research how to be anti-racism. Look for also experiences of like Black people having joy, and like read about those stories too, and like all these good things, because I think so often the narrative will circle around Black people and trauma, or Black people and the hood, or Black people and like all these like negative spaces, and they're there. But it's kind of like the conversation I have with my friends sometimes, where I'm like, I need more Black movies than movies that just talk about slavery. Like, I have to see like more like Black people existing in more spaces. And that's a really big part of like how I make my art. Like, I want to see more things of like a Black person being a mermaid, or just like enjoying their time in the living room and like all this stuff. Like, you don't have to be expected to be strong all the time. You can be soft too. I was in an old apartment, so this is even before I got to like the new apartment that I'm in. I now have a tattoo on the same shoulder. Like, I became her, and I see that happening in my art a lot. Like, this one was an intentional self-portrait, and so were these, but sometimes I catch it in my art where like I don't know it, but my subconscious is like, hey, we're working on like the next version, and here's a glimpse. And I don't notice it till like when I'm supposed to. Then I'm like, oh shit, yep, I did. I became her. I'm her. I'm there. Like, I see it.